I am your immigration attorney, Michael Fulwani.
My name is Ludka Zimovchak.
Now, you want to know what is happening in various areas. People have been calling us to find out when would H4 people get permission to work, what is happening on the memorandum administratively that President Obama was going to issue to stop deportation of undocumented aliens other than those that have committed serious crimes or terrorism. And what about the CIR? Ludka, what about the H4? It was just about to come. I understand that President Obama had told the Secretary of the Homeland Security that we go ahead with some of the administrative changes. And I believe almost it was ready until some development took place. And I can mention, and then you can hear a comment. Not only this, but there are various other things also, which President Obama only about few days ago put a stop. And the reason that he did that, he says, at least for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, by August, he wants to then think what is to be done. The reason he thinks is that taking these steps administratively now will probably make it difficult for him to get a CIR passed, because Republicans, as you know, are already against some of the administrative efforts, and they think that President Obama is actually going over the board or even is unconstitutional. What do you say?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. As you mentioned, let's start with the H4.
Yep.
That's definitely a big step for spouses of the H1B beneficiaries. They would be able to work, obviously, once the regulation is final, assuming that they applied for I-140. So I-140 has to be approved, and then the spouse would be able to get work permit. So that's a big one.
So previously we were talking about that practically speaking, we are talking more about the Indians and the Chinese.
Yeah.
And those are the type of people that will probably become under this H4 employment program. Why so?
Because the visa numbers are significantly retrogressed for Chinese nationals as well as for Indian nationals. And also don't forget about EB3s. So basically for all the countries, right now, they're retrogressed.
But it's only the right thing to do, Ludka, that
Yes.
L2 people, it's a non-immigrant visa, are permitted to work. E2 people are
Also,
permitted to work.
That's correct.
So why not? Basically the H1 person is working, and the wife, even if she qualifies, cannot work unless in some cases only, even the wife can get an H1B. But a lot of cases where the wife is a housewife or really don't have children, there's a free time to do it, they need also more money to support the family. What's wrong? I mean, basically, it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Yes,
As President
definitely.
Obama always says, it's the right thing to do.
Certainly. I agree.
So hopefully, what I'm saying, hopefully from what I see, as you know that I look at the New York Times almost every day, I watch the news and I'm in touch with whatever happening, the liaison meetings and all that. Looks like that there is a good chance of that happening if the Congress does not move, which I believe is really doubtful that the Republicans will come around and support this after 2 months. Then I think, in my opinion, President Obama may proceed, because they already given those instructions to the Secretary of the Homeland Security that go ahead, stop deportation of illegal aliens unless they have committed crimes and all that. Go ahead and give EADs to H4 people. And the reason, explain to me why certain things President can do administratively and why he cannot do without legislation. In other words, there are laws. For example, the immigrant categories, you have family preferences, employment preferences, the marriage, the law defines various ways in which the persons qualify, right? And then some of the areas are where it's not defined or strictly mentioned in the statute. Anything that is based upon passage of the laws, President cannot do that because this is an executive action. But then there are regulations and rules and policies. These kind of things, President Obama had the power, authority to do, like a DACA. Let's talk about DACA.
Oh, that's a good
Let's talk about, why I'm saying let's talk about DACA, because these are people who are deportable, right? Illegally came to the country, they are living illegally in this country, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
So he came out with a DACA, which is administrative state.
Yeah, it's a
permitting
deferred
the-
action. It's a deferred action. So
Yeah, because, no, I'll tell you further. In the law, there is a provision of deferred action.
yes, it's
The
very
law
old.
says
Actually, it's very
immigration
old.
service, that is the administration can in certain circumstances. But President Obama or the administrator, the people that he is surrounding him, given advice that there is no specific definition of specific circumstances.
And it was used just on rare occasions.
That is correct.
Yes.
So that rare occasion opens up the whole thing. Okay, I believe it. President says that this is the right thing to do. They deserve it. And why don't we give that benefit to these little kids that came 2 years old and all that?
Can you believe that it's been 2 years already?
2 years, oh my God, I didn't even realize that.
So right now it's a time for renewal.
Time for the renewal. But even, let me just, before you go into the renewal, even now, some people are coming now that they did not apply before, for some reason or the other.
They still can apply.
They still can apply, there's no reason, some people have a wrong impression that it's over. It's not over, it's continuing, you can apply anytime.
Yes, anytime, but
And
you have to use the new form.
New form.
Yeah, that's
So
important.
what are you saying about the renewals?
Renewals, we get calls all the time, but it's very important that applicants don't file it more than 120 days before the expiration. And they have to file again the form the same way as they initially filed it, also I-765 and also the worksheet. So the regulations also, the frequently asked questions from the USCIS state that they don't need to apply, they don't need to send initial evidence, maybe if anything changed, let's say they were convicted of a crime, but 120 days, that's important to remember.
But I mean, these DACA kids also are concerned. What thereafter? Okay.
What will happen?
What will happen? Because the right thing to do is to pass the DREAM Act and then they'll get the green card and the path to the citizenship. But what if the DREAM Act doesn't pass? Because as you know, what has been going on in the Congress, Republicans are more and more, making allegations against the president that he's violating the laws, violating the Constitution. And recently a major thing has taken place a few days only ago. You know what happened? President Obama released 5 high-level terrorists from the jail that they have and given to Taliban, and in exchange they only got 1 American soldier. So a lot of Republicans are saying that according to the Constitution, according to the law, it was President's duty to come to the Congress and ask us whether we should do that. He just bypassed it, he just did it. So this shows, Republicans are now saying, how he has been doing it administratively and just don't care for the Congress and all that. So that brings a more rift between the President and the Congress, and that worries me, even getting the CIR passed.
What will happen to the
more
CIR?
and more if they do like that, and so that's a problem that that really is
I guess we'll
worrying
have
us,
to see.
concern.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we have to see. So hopefully, that something may happen. I don't know what is going on in the mind of the President, that he thinks in 2 months, he just wait 2 months. I'm saying, why wait 2 months? I don't think nothing is happening in the 2 months, that we wait another 2 months, because it's still thousands of people, these kids are waiting very anxiously. So you want to get the bill passed, or if it doesn't pass, then we figure it out what we can do about these kids going forward.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, we are going to do more and more of these programs. Keep watching us, and we try to bring you the latest information and the news. We thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.